Charlie, take off those glasses. We're doing a TV commercial.
But Jerry, the future's so bright here at Bourbon RV, I gotta wear shades.
That's right. At Bourbon RV, we have more inventory, more parts, and even better service.
We make buying fun at Bourbon RV.
And if you have a problem, see the boss.
Hello, I'm James Bartle of the Sullivan Independent News, and we are coming from the showroom of Jerry's TV Furniture and Appliance, one of the largest showrooms in the Tri-County area. And we want to welcome you today to 5 Questions With. And joining us is Town of West Sullivan Chairperson Jim Turntine. Jim, welcome to 5 Questions.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Jim, you've served on the board of the Village of West Sullivan for how long, and you've been chairman?
As long as it's been in existence, since 2000. The town was established in 2000 by vote, and the first board of trustees was appointed by the county council, and I was appointed at that time, and I ran for re-election every cycle and been re-elected, so coming on 12 years.
12 years. Now the village has come a long way in the last 12 years, and I understand that the village has completed its water and sewer infrastructure and moving forward. Can you kind of explain how that process went, how long it took, and getting to the point where you're at today where the village is, or the town is self-sufficient with its own water and sewer?
Well, in the short form, it took probably 15 years because that was the reason the town was established. We actually started the process to deal with the sewer and water problems out in our neighborhood. The sewer and water's been done now. The water about 3 years, and the sewer just got finished up. I think early last year was when the last house got connected. So, you know, altogether pretty well 15 years invested in getting those problems solved. And it involved, you know, a lot of state agencies, hard work of the people that live there, everybody who's served on the board, those that are there now, and there's been several come and go. Local state representative Charlie Schlottick was a big help during his years in the state office there. USDA, DNR, CDBG, all of those entities played a big part in it. Local banks, the Bank of Sullivan was helpful along the way. So I couldn't tell you every step, just lots of work and lots of effort and just, you know, diligent, just keep working at it, and we finally got it all done. And everything's working well. The water system's got great pressures. We actually added fire protection for the town, which was kind of unusual the way we went about it. Most of the funding agencies weren't willing to really go into that, and we had to find some extra hoops to jump over there. But we got through everything. We have fire protection, and we needed it. I think last week or 2 weeks ago there was a fire out there, and fortunately it was there to be used at that time. But you know, the potable water's great, the quality's great, sewer systems work, everything. Problems are solved, and you know, proud of that because it's allowing things to happen now that could have been happening years ago. But also all the people that live there that own the homes. Now they can sell their homes, and they can, you know, the value of their homes is stabilized. You know, the economy's terrible, but notwithstanding that, which nobody can control, but ultimately those problems are solved, and things are going well in West Sullivan. Yeah.
And speaking of things going well, I understand the village has got one new subdivision nearly completed and another one started. You want to talk a little bit about that? I know a new street.
We do. Monty Drive was built. That's a subdivision called Annie's Meadow, and actually Lance Weezy put that thing together, and then there's been a group of folks invest in it, and it's doing well. I think what he's built there, the local public seems to want. All the units are full, and they seem to be full pretty much as soon as they get built, and that project actually encouraged me to go across the road or take some land that I own, or my business partner Jim Bierman and myself own together, and we've got about an 8-acre chunk there that's in the Sullivan School District, and we built a new road off of the service road called Freedom Drive, and there'll be a couple of cul-de-sacs off of that road that we're putting a subdivision in now, and we're building duplexes and kind of copying off what Lance started. So it seems to be going well, seems to be the right thing to do, and as long as it's working, we're going to keep doing it.
And that's some positive growth for the area, and that increases the number of users in the water and sewer system, which helps.
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
We've been fortunate enough to pay down quite a bit of our debt already. We've lowered our rates a couple of times already in the town, so our utility rates all across the board are pretty fair and pretty reasonable compared to other communities around. So yeah, it just helps everybody, helps the ones that are there because their rates are going down, and it's just a good thing from every direction.
Now, last year, the town of West Sullivan had another manufacturing building built in Freedom Drive.
It's a warehouse. I wouldn't call it manufacturing because there's not any manufacturing going on in the building. It's just strictly a distribution center, if you will. I own a building at 1000 Independence Drive, which has been there since '99, so it's about 13 years I've had that warehouse. It's similar to the one that we built last year. And one of the tenants was actually Paramount Apparel in Bourbon, and they were needing more space. They'd leased part of that original building for a number of the years, and they needed more space, and so we were able to come to terms, and ultimately, we constructed a 120,000 square foot distribution center for them, and I think they run around 30 employees that they've brought in there. Seems to be going real well. They seem happy, and I think it's, I feel pretty good about it. It's jobs in the area that are here that might not have been, so it's all good.
So that's really a win-win for everybody when you have, whether it's manufacturing, production, warehousing, there's still a number of employees that are needed to operate those facilities, and it's anytime you get that in the area, I think it's an added bonus for everyone.
I appreciate you recognizing that. I feel the same way. I think it's just, it's good. We're in business, and having them in business is great, and people having jobs, and it's kind of interesting. Some days you can sit out there and watch the traffic come and go, and it's a lot more traffic than it was
it used to
10
be.
years ago.
Sure.
So, I think there's plenty there to feel good about.
Sure.
So
now, for the town of West Sullivan, are there any other big projects, any other future plans ahead?
That's really a good question. I would say one more. There were three things that really motivated me 15 years ago when this all started, and solving those water and sewer problems was 1 and 2, and they were the biggest. But the third one is I've always thought that if we could get the access off of I-44 at Highway FF, that combined with solving sewer and water and having those resources available to the lands in that area, that it would really benefit the whole area. So we're working on that. That's kind of the third notch that we want to put on the belt, is to get those ramps done. I don't know if we will, but we have had some positive responses. We've had several meetings with MoDOT. We've had several informal information type meetings that we've had with the folks in the area that would be affected, the property owners, businesses. I think everybody wants it to happen. We've just got to figure out how to make it happen, and that's finances and money and taxes, and we've done a lot, and we're going to keep working towards that. I can't say that it's going to happen, but I think we've got a shot at it. I think it's a doable project. We just have to find a few sources to put together and make it happen. So
people probably wouldn't realize the amount of work that goes into pursuing a project like that. I mean, there's tons of engineering and planning and working with different agencies to try to make something like that happen.
Yeah, and that's true, and I'm not complaining or taking any credit. I sure hope it doesn't sound like I am. There's been probably thousands of hours went in between myself and other board members and people that are involved in West Sullivan, but also, like I said, folks like Dave Schatz and Charlie Schlottick and our local state representatives. They've done a lot in these sort of things, not just for West Sullivan, but for everybody in this region. So,
sure.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. There's just a lot of time that gets spent, but things do happen. That's the exciting fact. Is at the end you can say, well, by gosh, we got something done.
Got something accomplished.
It's good. It's worth it.
You bet. Well, once again, I want to thank you, Jim,
You're
for
welcome.
joining us on 5 Questions with this week. And once again, we also want to thank Jerry's TV Furniture and Appliance for allowing us to host 5 Questions in their beautiful showroom. So tune in next week at www.mysullivannews.com for 5 Questions with.